The Billionaire's Housekeeper by Shadonna Richards. Narrated by L.W. Salinas. Chapter 1. "There's trouble at the Belmont Ranch Resort," Chase Belmont told his brother Cole. The two brothers stood at the side in one of the massive gardens at Belmont Palace. "I've got to be there." "Now?" Cole clarified, over the sound of music from the live band. Couldn't someone else go? The combination of chatter, laughter, and music almost drowned them out. Chase watched his old man, Jonah Belmont III, sitting on a garden chair surrounded by his friends, as if he didn't have a care in the world. Jonah had a lovely young nurse by his side. Chase felt ill thinking how this news would affect his father's fragile health if he ever found out. Jonah Belmont took great pride in each of his hotels, even when he went worldwide. Every facility received the same star treatment. Currently, a rival over the land of their newest locations wanted to see them eat dirt. "No," Chase said sternly. "No one else can go. I need to take care of business out there, or we'll be in trouble. Something's up. I can feel it." "But what about Dad, Chase? Don't tell me you're trying to dodge the bullet. You know what Dad said about his bucket list challenge and how serious this is for him. It's his dying wish to see us spend his last days with him, and for him to see each of us in a stable relationship with the love of our life." I know, Chase said, clenching his jaw absent-mindedly. He was more annoyed than anything, and not with his dying father. Talk about bad timing. Chase knew this day was coming. His father didn't have much time to live, and wanted the boys to at least settle down with nice ladies to avoid the Belmont family curse. The garden at the Belmont Palace was filled with hundreds of guests. It was the Belmont family's weekly appreciation barbecue. As long as the weather was good in the scenic waterfront community owned by the Belmont family, they would honor their father, Jonah, who'd been given 6 months to a year to live after his pancreatic cancer resurfaced. The live band played various 50s ballads, some of his dad's favorite tunes that transported him back to happier times. It wasn't easy on any of them. Just then, his half-brother Brandon and his new bride Faith approached. Faith used to be a part-time waitress and the Belmont's professional clutter control organizer, who owned her own small business she ran out of her tiny apartment before they met. Chase thought of how cool it was that they finally got together, despite Brandon's reservation about getting tied down. Brandon was a security specialist and private detective, and much like his other half-brother Dane, he'd only just come to know Jonah as their biological father. "Everything okay?" Brandon asked in his deep voice. He was well over 6'5", the tallest of the brothers. "You look worried there," Brandon added. Brandon was ever the cautious eye, surreptitiously watching everyone from across the lawn, as was his force of habit. "Not really," Chase said. "Faith, nice to see you as always." "Likewise. Hi, Cole," Faith said, a drink in her hand, swaying to the sound of music. Her long hair was braided into long micro-braids. Her beautiful tanned complexion complemented her husband's. Chase wondered how long she sat for her hair to be done. He admired his new sister-in-law. "Listen, I think Olivia could use a hand," Faith said, handing her drink to her husband. She then pecked him on the cheek. Olivia was helping Aunt Maya in getting the cake table set up. They had plenty of staff to do work, but Aunt Maya had specially baked a cake for her brother's special day and wanted to handle it herself. After Faith scurried off, Brandon returned his attention to Chase. "So, what's going on?" he asked. "We're in trouble at the ranch out in BC, Chase reiterated to Brandon. Brandon's face went stony and hard. "What do you mean, trouble?" he asked cautiously. "Well, you know the Jacksons have been trying to get a hold of that land out in West Valley. The plot they always said was theirs, right?" "Yeah, I've heard about that," Brandon said, combing his hand through his hair. The Jacksons and the Belmonts have had a long-running family feud dating back to the early 1900s, mostly
Sample complete. Ready to continue?